What's going on, everybody? My name is Tamar Turner, and I'm the host of the Down to Business podcast, where the mission is to really provide exposure to businesses, entrepreneurs, and artists all around the world in their respective crafts. And we do so through audio and visual interviews where we come on and we talk about all things from getting into the business to most memorable moments to even some advice that you may give for other business owners and entrepreneurs out there. So if this sounds like something that you would be interested in, we'd love to have you on for an interview. Please be sure to reach out via any social media platform and we'll definitely get back to you. But until then, enjoy this episode. All right, I just want to welcome everybody back. Welcome to another episode of the Down to Business podcast here with Tamar Turner. And I know a lot of people tuning in have probably heard this saying before: no weapons formed against us shall prosper. So, whether that's something you adopted religiously, whether that's something you just adopt in everyday life, it's definitely a saying that can take you a long ways and really just let you know that things are brighter on the other side. So the reason why I say that is just because my man who I'm sitting down with today, JB, it has been nothing but, weapon after weapon. They've been trying to stop the interview. They didn't want us to get on here and, really just have fun. They didn't want my boy to, come on here and really talk about what he does. But nonetheless, we still tapped in with each other. No love lost. Things just happen. Life happens on both ends. So definitely appreciate, him joining us, and appreciate everybody, for constantly tapping in. So we just gonna get right into it. So JB, how you doing today, bro?
I'm all right, bro. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I can never complain, bro. I'm always good on this end. Definitely excited for this. So,
Sure.
for the people out there, for everybody tuning in, whether they know you, know me, don't know either one of us, can you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself and then what brought you on the podcast today?
Yeah, for sure, man. My name is Jason. I'm originally from Queens, New York. You know what I mean? Moved down here. My pops moved us down here, so we've been back and forth between North Carolina and New York. But a lot of people know me from Elizabeth City. That's where I graduated school from. So my first 2 years was in Edenton. Last 2 years was at Pasquotank, and I graduated there. But yeah, and then I came to Greenville, tried college out. You know how that goes. Some people stick with it, some people don't. It's college not for everybody. I tried it, didn't work. Kind of been back and forth. I moved to the DMV, kicked it out there for a couple years with my cousin and stuff. That was pretty dope, a pretty dope experience. I learned a lot out there, and which actually kind of, I guess, sprung some, ideas that bring us to today. Then I came back, and now I go to school through the Fashion Institute of New York City, and I actually just graduated with my certificate in sneaker engineering. So yeah, I'm just trying to grind it, man. Just a young black king trying to make it out here, and put people on, put myself on, put my family on, but nevertheless, just keep it real and keep it on point.
Absolutely. It's really nothing you said that I can disagree with. From, you being from New York, I love the Northerners, man. Somebody who
Yeah,
was born in New York himself and then raised in Philly. So, I definitely just love to hear that. And it really just goes to show you that life is a journey. It can really take you on different destinations. It can lead you in different directions, different paths. But nonetheless, you still find and you're still always learning. It's still an adjustment. It's still a learning process. And I really think that's the beauty of it. The fact that, you don't have to stick by something specifically, or you can
exactly.
not like something, you can fail at something and rebound on something else. So that's really good. So how has everything, with you now being at the Fashion Institute and everything and being in New York, what really has that adjustment been, if at all, an adjustment really, just returning back home and just doing things like that? And what really has it led to any, motivations, any ideas? Has it really just lit a fire under you to want to
Oh
do
yeah.
anything specifically
Oh
in that industry?
yeah. Yeah, actually, man, going to this school, it really brought the idea to life, honestly. It's always been in the back of my mind. We all men, we all into fashion, into sneakers and stuff like that. That's something that we always grew up on. If that was your background, you know what I mean? So being from the north or even being from south, I know a lot of southern people that know how to, drip it down too. So it's like you said, it's different areas, different environments, and it's different people that you can get different things from. So you see different things from experiences. So with that being said, it's like, with going to this school, I came back home from the DMV, and then it was online. All of it was online, but I will be taking a hands-on course to, actually, engineer my own sneaker, but that comes with time, and money, of course. So with the schooling, excuse me, man, it of course taught me, it was like 6 courses. It taught me everything from history of sneakers, history of streetwear, to the history of, and not even history, to manufacturing, distribution, marketing. Like, it taught me so many things, man. And I greatly appreciate. And when it comes in the mail, like, I'm gonna frame it and put it on the wall. Like, finally finish, accomplish something that I actually, took the time out, took the money out of my pockets and took the time out of my day to, go get a dream, to go follow a dream. And the fact that the degree comes in a couple of days is definitely going to be something that I'm proud of, because this school taught me a lot and it brought my brand to life. Because one of the assignments, actually my first assignment, was how would you bring a brand to life? And man, I was sitting at work one day, bored as hell, excuse my language, bored. And I was just sitting down doodling. And I was like, man, what, I don't want to do a clothing brand, but what's going to catch the eye? What can I bring to life? And I'm just sitting there, I'm just writing. I wrote, I don't know, man, I wrote all kinds of stuff, just corny stuff to spiritual stuff, inspirational, whatever. And then I just sat there and I was like, real. Everybody, some people claim to be real, some people are real, and everybody wants to live a real, a true lifestyle, a self-made, lifestyle. So I feel like real is an authentic way to live. So that's why I sat down, and when I sat down, I was like, real is kind of too plain. Like everybody knows the word real. So how can I bust it down into an acronym? And I was like, just sitting there and I was doodling some more. And then the idea came up and it was like royalty evolves after loyalty. And it stuck. And I was like, I kind of like that because, everybody loves to say, loyalty over royalty and, stuff like that. But I kind of want to change the aspect of it because in all honesty, we all want to be royal. Like if you define royalty, I believe it's people of status, people of royal blood or status. And you want you yourself as well as your family, as well as your community, as well as your friends to, be royal to themselves. So that's why I said royalty evolves after loyalty. We all know what loyalty is. That's supposed to be an everyday lifestyle thing. That's supposed to be something that you live by and you die by, So it's like once you be loyal to your cause, loyal to your people, loyal to yourself, you become royal.
Sheesh. I like that. I like that a lot, man. I just love the flow of that whole answer. I'm gonna definitely first and foremost take it back a little bit. I'm gonna congratulate you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Getting that degree, especially when you put your own money into it. When
Yeah, man,
when you really make an investment yourself, it hits different. It hits different when you
definitely.
in the classes, when you doing assignments, when it finally comes in the mail. I know that feeling is gonna be surreal. I'm happy for you.
Thank
Just
you,
hearing
man.
that and just
Appreciate it.
thinking about, of course, bro. Just thinking about when my degrees came in, and just you think about everything, just in the
Hmm.
moment. How some days you woke up, you said, "This ain't it, man. I don't even." It was cold for me. It was just I was fed up. But in the end, just the experiences, the memories, the knowledge that I got from it, it was definitely just it's all worth it in the end. So big shout out to you, bro. And then secondly, I'm gonna say I definitely do appreciate you coming on here. You being a class act, excusing yourself for the language and everything. It's all
Yeah,
good, bro. I done had people come on here, say worse. It is what it is. You this is your time. This is your platform to, just get off what you gotta say. So just I ain't saying you got every word, but
yeah,
look,
yeah,
bro, if you got something to say, if you feeling it, if the emotion is just hit, then that's just how it goes sometimes, bro. I definitely can never be mad at that. But I appreciate you, wanting to be respectful of the podcast. And then lastly, bro, I love that. I just love how when I first followed the page real, it was just like I had never even thought of that as a potential, acronym. Granted, there are a lot of ways to real is only 4 letters, a lot of ways to just put it together. But the immediate saying and just what I knew grew up in my head, it was just something that I've always heard in Philly. There was actually probably a group or probably some clothes that somebody had made, but they were always used to just say, remember, everybody ain't loyal. So that was kind of what real, how I always looked at it and what I known to it. But
okay,
this
that's
really
good.
like, and that obviously it can kind of just put not, I wouldn't say a negative connotation in your head, but it can kind of just, put you on alert a little bit about different things. It's not the most positive thing to say because it's just like, well, yeah, why you want to give people the benefit of the doubt? At the end of the day, people are going to be people. But I love yours just because it makes you think a little. Royalty evolves after loyalty, real. So something that I wanted to do. This is my first time kind of ever doing this, but I really just got the idea just when you said kind of bring a brand to life and really take it to the next level. So I want to put you on the Shark Tank real quick. So I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Shark Tank, what they do, but if not, I'm gonna just kind of break it down for everybody who may kind of be tuning in. So Shark Tank is basically just a show where business owners and entrepreneurs come on, they pitch their idea in kind of hopes of getting, an investment, getting these investors some stake in the company and everything. So I want to put you in the Shark Tank right now, JB. So, with real, with the clothing, with the streetwear, with you trying to engineer your own sneaker and everything like that, what is it about your clothing line? What is it about Royalty Evolves After Loyalty that is really going to set you guys apart from different streetwear bands, that is really going to distinguish you? And how do you really plan to bring it to life for those out there who may not know anything about your brand?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the first thing is, man, it's just it's like I said, it's real, and everybody wants to, everybody should be that way. And then, when you break it down, royalty evolves after loyalty. I want you to feel good when it says real. When people read it, I want them to be like, okay, that's cool. But when they see the actual logo, like I know if you have seen it, as well as anybody else on this podcast right now has seen it as well, that's around it. So when they look at it, they're gonna see the real, okay, cool, but then they're gonna see what it means around it. And that's kind of why I made it like that, because I actually brought back I don't mean to jump around, but I brought back the old New York token. I don't know if you remember that from way back in the days. That's where I got the idea from the logo. So, and that's why I went ahead and put it in the middle so you can notice it, and then around it, when you actually look at the details, you can see it, and that's what it actually means. So it's not just a common brand, it's actually something that you got to look at and be like, oh, okay, that's kind of catchy, you know what I mean? It was something. That's why I sat there and just I was going through it, man. I and it just didn't stick, and then I finally came across this little four letter, four word sentence, and it just stuck. And that's how I want people to feel. That's how I want people to look at the brand. That's how I want people to look at me, my peoples, my family. Anybody that's around me, everything, man. I just want everybody to keep it real with yourself, and keep it real with the world. And the world would be a lot better if people would keep it real, bro, for real.
That's crazy, bro. I just went. I just had to go and look at the logo. I didn't even peep that. That's dope. But one, for not only is the New York one a throwback, a token in general is just a throwback for me. Like that's just crazy. Like for all of you, who may not be too familiar with the public transportation life, yeah, it's definitely something that's
Man,
real up north for sure, especially in
yo,
New York. But I mean, that's just I love to hear that. I always love just hearing about people's creative processes and just business names and how they came up with different ideas for it. And I really just, it's always just interesting to me how people's minds work, just what you're thinking about, just your roots and different things like that. You never really know what could come up from it. And then you never really know once you really get in the lab and start playing around with some things, what could really come from it. And something, you may go on to do different ideas. Like I know when I kind of first got my logo and stuff started, I wanted the microphone and I knew I wanted the number 2 in it. But then, as I kind of started talking to people, another one of my, shout out to my LB Shimbo, he made another logo for me sitting at the desk just because he knew my ties to communication in grad
mhm.
school. And I actually have a picture on my Instagram page that's actually pretty similar to my logo. I don't think he did that on purpose, but I actually noticed it kind of later on. And so then my other logo, big shout out to K Grander. She actually it was a free logo she made for me in a giveaway that I won. But I was telling her that at this point in my life, at this point in the stage and the journey, I felt like the podcast was just missing a piece. And that piece, each episode is really just that business owner. So I kind of told her to make me like a puzzle type theme, but then make the one piece missing, put on it your business here. So whoever, whatever entrepreneur I bring on or artist or business owner, they're going to fill that missing void every time. So it's just, it's just crazy how the mind works sometimes, just different things and experiences and knowledge that you gain over time being a business owner. And I definitely think that's something that you'll even go to notice with R.E.A.L, whether it come in the form of a logo, just different products, just different even lanes and avenues that you want to step in, because fashion as an industry is so broad, so diverse, so unique. It's really just so much you can do with it. So even streetwear, I would say sneakers, as we see stuff happening all the time, just how crazy it gets. So just in thinking about, your brand and your degree coming and really just engineering your own shoe and really just wanting to take the world by storm, what would you say is the first order of business for R.E.A.L clothing?
First order of business. I'm under construction right now, but the first order of business would probably be, because honestly, I I ain't gonna lie, like you said, how you just brought on a podcast. Everybody got a lot, a lot of things going on when it comes to life. So I haven't posted anything. I got a lot of stuff. Don't get me wrong. I got a lot of stuff in my garage, but I don't want to post anything until I have everything I need. At least the basics squared away for me to actually, present everything. But I think the first order of business would definitely be, a couple of sneak peeks, and then of course the website to go ahead and promote. So I think the first order of business would be, yeah, I would say the website, maybe a couple of sneak peeks here and there. I have done a sneak peek, I think about a month or two ago, on the page and on my personal Instagram as well too. But yeah, I believe that'll be my first order of business, because I got everything I need set in stone. It's just about getting it done. That's all it is, man. Just finding the time to get it done.
It's beauty in the process, bro. I really don't even think, you should be.
Yeah, man, patience is
Yeah,
key.
absolutely. Patience is a virtue for sure. Sometimes it feels like a full time job, but I just think that's important with everything. I talk about my journey a lot with my podcast and just how I kept making excuse, after excuse, after excuse, and just really not getting started, really walking past the microphone almost every day at work and not grabbing, really just having the spaces to record and everything like that and just not doing it, really just not scheduling as many interviews. I really just moving slow sometimes, just being lazy, just procrastinating, whatever. So, but I think that's the beauty in the process, especially when you could be doing better. And there are things that you want to do. There are things that what you're coming. But bro, trust the process, embrace it, work at your own pace, your own speed. You got life going on. You in school, you're trying to make things happen. So don't feel like you're behind or don't feel like you're not. You're exactly where you need to be right now. And granted, you're gonna excel, propel, and take different strides and everything like that. But it's all a process. It's all a
For sure.
process for sure. So I love that. I love that sometimes you can take a step back and really just admit that you're not where you want to be. You might have took some time off. You might have not have revealed anything in a while, but that's okay because now that you know that in the back of your head, you know that you're gonna come 10 times harder too when you do finally get things in order and get things up and running. So I would say whatever your first order of business is exactly what it should be, bro, and it's gonna go exactly how it should. So for people in the fashion industry, for people in streetwear, for whether they have their own line, whether they do clothes designs, whatever they may do, modeling, whatever the case may be, what is it? Well, I'm gonna personalize it to you, I guess. I understand, as a man, we definitely, even taking it back to the Foot Locker days a little bit too, we love our sneaks, we love our clothes, we love to look good and match everything and everything like that. But what personally drew you to fashion? When were you just like, yo, this is really what I want to do? I want to make it a brand out of this. I really want to do some things with it. And then what led you to then pursue that, to go even attend the fashion institute?
That's a good question, bro. Man, I think, man, I'm gonna have to go ahead and give a shout out to my pops. Honestly, man, like he was always the type of guy to, dress, whether it was streetwear, whether it was casual, business casual, tuxedo. Like if you name the occasion, he's coming to step. You know what I mean? So I really grasped the idea from him, and of course my mother too. And like just growing up and seeing like different type of sneakers, you know what I mean? All these different ball players we was growing up on and still growing up on to this day, wanting their sneakers. And then of course you got to put the freshest fit with the freshest sneakers on maybe the first day of school, first day of class, whatever the case may be. So we all know how that felt. And the fact that I'm getting older, so it's like, yeah, shout out to all the the solid brands that we grew up on, the polos and the nauticas and stuff like that. But why not wear something that is you? You know what I mean? So that's when I turned fashion into like a self-made. Let's try to do something, self-made and for the family too. So it's not just for me; it's for the family. So family and friends and community, like whatever the case may be. Like if I sponsor my AAU team or something like that, I can do something like that, or sponsor another album or whatever the case may be. Just try to just touch into different areas with the brand. Of course, it's starting off with just a street. It's a clothing brand, but I do want to dip into different alleys for the brand to grow, whether it's overnight or whether it takes 5 or 10 years. Man, it doesn't matter. Like trust the process, like you said. So definitely got to stick with that. But my pops, my parents, and just growing up with the fashion, growing up with my peers, it was like it's not a competition, but when you look back on it, it was kind of like a competition. Like if your man's came to step, you got to come to step too. If she came to step, like you got to come to step to the date too. You know what I mean? So then it just became a thing, and I was like, I didn't finish college. I'll admit to that. So why not get a trade? And I'm into sneakers. Of course, like you said, to get back to the Foot Locker days, man, we was in there slinging sneakers. But of course, we getting the latest drops or the freshest G Fazos. You know what I mean? So why not get a trade? And my pops always drilled that into me. So that's something that was always in the back of my head too. So being that I didn't finish something, I needed to, step my game up and be like, man, if you're really gonna do something else, let it be something that you want it to be. It's a passion and you're gonna appreciate it. And that's exactly what I did. And one day, man, I'm just scrolling on Instagram and the actual program itself popped up. And I was like, man, let me just take a look at it. And one thing led to another. I had the money. I said, let's go. Let's finish. Let's start something else and actually finish it this time. So the Fashion Institute just came about, and then everything just tied together. It just fell into it just really just fell into my lap. Like I appreciate like how everything just came to me and how I just stay low, got everything out the mud, still getting stuff out the mud. But definitely, man, I appreciate everything the Fashion Institute has taught me. So shout out to Fit NYC, man, for real.
That's love. That's love. And yeah, but if I could think about probably the two freshest people in my life, like right now, it's definitely my grandpa and my pops. They be, yeah, they definitely be stepping, man.
OG
Grandpa's done
stuff,
put me on. OGs they be getting it in. They swag different. So I definitely do agree with you on that. And I something that I like that you said, just because I'm somebody who is all about perspective. You said I didn't finish college. I'll admit to that. So somebody, listening to that, somebody hearing that may think, well, I didn't finish college either. You may even kind of think about or you may even at a period of time, this may be true, it may not be true, kind of thought of it as something, oh, you're a failure, or you didn't do something that a lot of people are doing, or whatever the case may
right?
be. But for me, like, just in thinking about that, just because you don't finish something, just because you fail something, just because you stop doing something, you retract yourself, withdraw yourself, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is, it doesn't mean you failed to anybody, not just to JB, not just to any of my previous episodes, to everybody out there. You could not even be related to a business owner, entrepreneur, anything like that. You could just be you, working a 9 to 5, whatever. If it's not for you, if it's not for you, that's really just how I look at things. Some things are just not for us. I look back on not a lot of my collegiate career, but I look back on a good portion of my collegiate career. And I would say a lot of it definitely, could have been avoided, could have been saved. I could have honed in on different things like that. But I feel like, for what I dealt with, for what the process was, that was just what it was. Were some things, can I say that were some things at ECU and Syracuse not for me? Most definitely, for sure. Like it was what it was. As much as I love communication, as much as I love journalism and talking and being on the camera, being behind it, whatever the case, some things it just wasn't for me. It wasn't my interest. It wasn't what I wanted to do. It wasn't where I really saw myself. I would say almost my whole Syracuse basis, like they kind of wanted us to base out of news and just learn how to report news, tell news. That was what a lot of our stories had to be, pretty much every story. So was that for me in the moment? No, I thought I was coming on here to talk about the highlights and who was dunking on who scored on who did what. But it quickly, it turned things around for me. While a lot of it was not for me, I learned a valuable lesson from it. And that's what I think you can really take from, not finishing something, not coming out on the other side of things. It can really just, it's always a lesson in it. It's always a redirection. It's always something that you can take from it, just because, and then it'll even give you, and as you guys can hear with JB, it gave him that motivation for when he finally, stepped into the fashion industry, put his money up and made things happen. He really took it that much more serious. All right, now I didn't finish last time I stepped into something like this, but I wasn't in fashion last time I stepped into something like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is all Fit NYC right here. I'm about to make it happen. So that's important. It's really just important to recognize that it's a process, and finding yourself and finding your calling and finding a hobby, just and finding a passion sometimes. So just recognize that just because you go towards something, move in a lane, move in a direction, it doesn't work out for you. It's okay. Sometimes you just got to go back to square one, back to the drawing board. So that's all good. So I love that for you. And I'm definitely excited to see everything that R.E.A.L has going on. So just for the people out there, for those who may have missed the sneak peek, I didn't miss the sneak peek. Y'all got to tap into the page. We'll get into that. But for the people out there, who may have missed the sneak peek, who just in hearing this interview are interested, whether it be the fellas, whether it be the ladies, can you just tell us about some of the things that they can look forward to on the product side of things?
Product side, I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be basic. I'm gonna drop some t-shirts first. I'm not gonna. I wanted to go big. I wanted to do something seasonal, but like I said, I got stuff already ready. So it's like I know what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on that right time, and it's like I see that right time, but that right time comes, and it's like wait one more time. So it's like I'm trying to find it. It's coming. Don't get me wrong. It's coming. Give me some time. It's coming. But definitely I'm gonna definitely drop some t-shirts first. That logo, actually, that the one that I talked about earlier with the New York token. Shout out to Alyssa. She made that for me. You remember Alyssa Sandy, man, from Foot Locker, and
Yes, sir.
that's the first set of shirts I'm gonna drop. I'm gonna have that logo on the back of it. That's actually the sneak peek that I did. That was the first sneak peek that I did. It was the official logo on the back of the shirt, and then on the front of the shirt, it has just real in cursive. So it's just right there on the shirt, like a little polo tag type, right up there in the torso area. So that's what I'm gonna drop first. But the product is gonna be crazy. Definitely gonna tap into all the streetwear that I can. I've been talking to a lot of vendors and just trying to get into different things, whether it's socks, how the new world we live in now with the face mask, shit, even even boxers, tank tops, everything. I'm just trying to. I talk to different vendors. I'm getting different prices, and all the things are coming in, just getting made. Like I said, it takes time. Got to trust the process, of course. So I'm waiting on things. I want to push things, but like I said, I'm just waiting on the right time. But the product is definitely coming. It's definitely gonna be dope. And I'm considering the quality too. So of course I gotta wait for things to come in to test the qualities and just different things like that, man. It takes a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot more than just what people see on social media. It's a lot behind closed doors. So I'm just trying to trust the process, and I'm gonna stay with it. It's here, so it's coming. I'm about to drop soon, real soon.
It's here, we all tapped in. I'm definitely excited. I'm ready for it. I need it all. Especially you had me when you said socks. I love socks. So
Oh
we
yeah,
going, I'm a definitely I'm excited for it, bro. And I think that, you called it basic, but I call it just original. You got to start somewhere, you got to start with something. And I think that'll only give you more motivation, more room to work and everything. You're really paying attention to detail. And I think that that's important. You're not trying to just throw something together. You're not trying to just, like you said, you wanted to go big. You have stuff ready, bro. I'm pretty sure you could have posted something by now, sold something, did whatever you wanted to do, but it's intricate steps to it. It's an intricate process to it. And
hmm
you want to be delivered about it. So that way, when it's really, like you said, when it's go time, when it's time to really drop the bomb, it's a bomb. You're taking the world by storm. So I love that, just because you're not fully immersed into it yet. Meaning not that you haven't applied yourself, not that you haven't
yeah,
done
yeah, yeah,
anything.
yeah.
You just haven't, put the website out there, done different things like that. So can you just, for the people out there listening, tapping in, whether they may be in a similar situation of, just trying to get things together, having some stuff, whether it be somebody who, may even be struggling to find their call, and may even be, moving from one thing to the next, having really locked in with something. Can you just tell us a little bit about your, kind of just any of the obstacles that you may have faced just in getting real up and running, and just things that you had to deal with, just some things that may have even, you might have lost some motivation behind it, but then also tell us about what really drives you, what has really kept you going all this time, and I guess just to be ready for the drop, so what have you kind of gone through at becoming a business owner, especially within the fashion industry, and what really keeps you going to, not only want to stay in this industry, not only want to, do what you want to do with real, but also just like you, because you spoke about family, you spoke about community. So this is way bigger than you, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Obstacles is it's always obstacles to a process, man. Especially when it comes to a passion. So, it's a lot of we all adults now, man. So it's a lot of time management. So it's like if like I said, I've been talking to a lot of vendors. So they might be on the West Coast. So now we have like a 3-4 hour difference, So there goes room for error when it comes to time. So it's like might not be able to get up with this person, might not be able to get up with this graphic designer. You know what I mean? So it's just different things happening at different times. So it's like you said, it's a business. So I gotta take it for what it is and really just be patient. Of course, patient is key. So it's frustrating, man. It really is. Definitely a couple of obstacles that set me back, but it's nothing major. It's nothing that's gonna. It's been kind of disappointing, but it's not nothing that's making me like, man, forget this. Like, nah, I'm gonna really stick with this and I'm gonna really do it because, like I said, I put my all into it. So I'm gonna finish it. I finished one thing. Let's keep checking off the checklist. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. What helped, like I said, what helped me a lot during all this is the Fashion Institute, and it's because of the courses. So I got everything that I needed within the courses, whether it's the history, manufacturing, distribution, marketing, the finance part of it, how, different contracts come up, the business aspect of everything. So the obstacles that I faced and me going to this specific school and this specific program turned my losses into lessons and helped me tremendously, like crazy. Because there's a lot of things that I did not know about, and when I took this classes and took these quizzes and tests and did these certain assignments on these different people and these different brands, man, it opened my eyes up completely. So I definitely got to give it all to the Fashion Institute because it just made me who I am today. Not only was it just the school, of course, but it brought the idea to life, like I said. So it's like, and it's crazy how it's coming to life. So it's like I enjoy looking at it. So let's keep going at it. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just keep going at it, and whatever other obstacles come, they come, and I'm gonna take it for what it is. And whether I can already, go back to maybe a certain point in my course and maybe brush up on something and it might clean up that obstacle, you know what I mean? So we're just gonna take it for what it is, man, and for the people out there that is struggling, or maybe in my shoes, may not be in my shoes, maybe thinking about a brand or has a brand, just stick with it, because there's a light at the end of that tunnel. And if you stick with it, you're gonna get there sooner than later. You just gotta, like I said, trust the process. Like we always say, trust the process, and it's a passion. So you're gonna have doubts, you're gonna have disappointments, you're gonna have obstacles, but it's a part of life. And when you understand that aspect of life, all that stuff that happens is not really gonna intimidate you. It's just gonna be like, all right, what can I do to, get past this, or what can I do to get around it? You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, just stick with it and do not doubt yourself at all. Do not doubt yourself at all. Because once you start doubting yourself, things start going downhill. So you just got to keep a positive mind, positive aspect. As long as you got that self knowledge, man, you can be anybody that you want to be, and you can do anything that you want to do. It's out here. Like you doing a podcast, I'm doing a clothing brand. Look at how we link up. Now we network. Now whoever takes whatever from this podcast can give these gems to somebody else, or they can take these gems and use it themselves, man. Whatever the case may be, it's all love, it's all help. So that's really what I want to do. And whether my name is over the brand or my name is behind the brand, at least it's something that I'm doing that I'm proud of. You know what I mean?
Whew, man, if that ain't, I could echo every bit of that, bro. That's really just that's crazy. Like it's really just to think like that, to just believe that, to know that it's going to happen. It just makes it that much better, when it all finally comes together, when it all
That,
comes to fruition. And it just makes you appreciate everything. It makes those long nights, it makes those failed designs, it makes those, those slump weeks where you might not get the best sales, it makes those where I might not get the most views and different. It makes it all just that much better, when, like you said, you found a passion, you found what you love. So at the end of the day, no matter what happens, no matter what somebody says, no matter what somebody doesn't say, you love it. You're having fun. You're doing what you want to do. That's the biggest thing. And that's really just the biggest thing for everybody. I don't care, I could go a week straight, no podcast plays. If I go a week straight, no podcast plays, I said, Houston, we have a problem. But it could
mm-hmm.
happen. And for me to doubt myself, for me to, think I'm any less of a good podcast host or whatever like that, or for me to not want to do it anymore. No. I love this. I'm ingrained in this. This is bigger to me. So like he said, whether his name is on the brand, behind the brand, it's something. And to know that, he made something happen out of that. That's the greatest feeling in the world. So before we wrap things up, bro, do you feel like there's anything out there, whether, it just be about you, it be about the fashion industry, the fashion journey, just real as a clothing brand, as a business, you feel like there's anything, that we left out that you want the people out there to know about?
I do, but I'm not gonna give the people too much. I said a little. There's stuff on the page, on the business page. It's up there, but y'all can go look at it, and that'll be what's up and coming. It's all said there. I'm gonna just keep quiet on that, because that's the next big step. Once I drop everything and everything starts to fall into place, what's on that brand page is the next biggest thing, and that's gonna be it's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be crazy. But I'm not gonna say it on the podcast. Check it out on the business page, or even my personal page is up there too. We'll tap into that at the end of the podcast and stuff like that. But yeah, for sure, I got a lot of stuff cooking, man. A lot of stuff, and it's not just clothing. It's, like I said, tapping into different lanes, and doing different sponsorships. I definitely did a couple. Well, not a couple, but one. I sponsored my first album a couple months ago with the brand. Yeah, man, just trying to do big. So a lot of things are coming. There's a couple of things on the page. That's what I'm gonna leave it at that. And yeah, that's what we're gonna leave it at.
I like it. I like it. Not too much, but the people, if they really want to tap in, if they really want to figure out what's on the up and up, go peep them. Go see what's up. So I love asking that question. I really be trying to get people to slip up on here. I'm not gonna lie. So if you one of my previous episodes, I asked you that question. I just be trying to get y'all to give up the secrets, man. What y'all got going on? What's upcoming? But nah, I do also ask that too, because sometimes I'm just not thinking about some things, or just in you might have came in here, thinking one thing, but totally want to venture off into something else. But like he said, go tap in with them. So since you were talking about, the business pages and where people can tap in with you, for everybody out there, just wanting to follow the progress and wanting to tap in with you once you drop everything, where can they find you on social media?
Yeah, for sure. Instagram, my personal page is all money in underscore JB. The business page is real.clothing with two G's. And yeah, tap in. Like I said, I'm dropping soon. I got stuff. Just be patient with me, please, because a lot of people been asking me, man. A lot of people been sliding in my DMs, business, whether it's on the business page or personal page, and just asking, inquiring about it. And it's coming. I got y'all. I got y'all. It's coming. So I'm definitely glad. I appreciate you coming, bringing me on this podcast, man, because it's definitely about to open more doors for the both of us. You know, I always been following you on this podcast, man, and I appreciate you. And keep doing your thing, man. For real, we're gonna change the world. We gotta change the narrative first.
I'm right there behind you, brother. Don't don't meet me at the top. Beat me to the top, bro. It was
For
definitely
sure.
my pleasure. I'm like I said in the beginning. I'm gonna say it at the end. No weapon will ever prosper, bro. I'm definitely glad we got to sit down. We got to rap. I'm excited for everything. You definitely just gave me even more insight into what you got going on and just how your mind is, really working. So I'm definitely going to be paying just that much more of attention to it. And to everybody out there, who continuously taps in with us episode after episode, post after post, story after story, because I know I get annoying, but it's all love. I just want everybody to really be great. Like JB said, I really want to change the narrative. So I appreciate y'all. I wouldn't have been able to be where I am today without everybody stepping onto this platform, without the support for the platform for those who haven't even stepped on, and just everything. It's been love to, be able to make merchandise, masks, give things away, just have fun, travel. And I got so much more coming. I'm so excited, man. So to
Yeah,
JB, to everybody else out there, man, I thank y'all so much constantly for tapping in. I thank y'all for everything. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at down2 business and then podcast. So to everybody out there, thank you again. This has been another episode of the Down to Business podcast here with Tamar Turner.
peace and love.